Hello and welcome to another Bucket List Gamers mini review, or should I say for this one mini preview, because this is a game that isn't out yet, but we've been given an early access demo. And it's also not really Bucket List Gamers because I'm joined by Dan.
Hello.
And Drew.
Good evening.
From the Bucket List Board Gamers podcast, our sister podcast, because I thought, well, who better to talk to me about a digital version of a currently existing board game than two people that know about board games? We thought it was the perfect little crossover to do. And we're starting on a relatively simple game in Kingdomino, which we have been given, as I say, a demo copy to play by Meeple Corp, who are the publisher and developer. We will be getting a full version in due course, so we may come back and talk about it in more detail later. But based purely on the demo, so I played it. It's a very restrictive demo. You don't get to do much in it compared to what the full features of the game are going to be. And you only get 2 games. And I will admit it now, I completely messed the first one up. So you won't be seeing that. You'll just be seeing the second game where I do considerably better.
Boo.
Yeah, no, I seriously, the amount of...
Coward.
The amount of mess I made of that first game. Because I skipped the tutorial like an idiot, and then couldn't remember how to play it because I've not played the physical version for about a year and a half. So the first one went terribly. I came dead last. Didn't get many points particularly at all. And then the second game I figured out what I'd done wrong, and it, as you'll be seeing behind us talking, I did considerably better. So I think firstly, the look of it. What did you guys think of the look of it? Because you've watched the video of me playing, haven't you? So you've seen it and how it plays.
I was pleasantly surprised.
You were not expecting much?
No, I really wasn't. Most of my board game to video game interactions has been on sites that specialize in multiple games, so the UI and stuff is not as fancy or as well designed, I would like to say.
Yeah.
But I love the whole look and feel of it, to be honest. I kind of wish that I was in the driving seat a little bit.
Drew, what did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought it was good as well. I mean, I think I wasn't as surprised. I've played a few digital ports of board games, and they tend to look fairly well polished, I think, so I wasn't as surprised with that. But yeah, it does look good. It's a pretty thing.
It looks good enough. It looks good enough for what it is. I don't think it's pushing any boundaries, but it doesn't need to. It just needs to be functional, and it just needs to look pretty. And one of the ones that I've played, the digital crossover of a real board game, was Sagrada, and they've absolutely nailed the digital version of Sagrada. It looks gorgeous. They've put a lot of effort into the UI, like you say, Dan. The graphics of it, even the dice look gorgeous, and it's like the little digital dice. They don't need to put this much effort in. So I think coming from that to this, I was like, it's not as detailed, but it does what it needs to do. And I don't know if you've seen one of our regulars on the video game side of it, Trevor, who made a game called Isles and Tiles, which we played a little bit back on Twitch, and we're going to have some keys to give away and stuff. It looks a bit similar to his game in like the assets and that kind of thing, and the way it's styled, which is a compliment to him as much as it is to Kingdomino, because his game looks lovely as well. And I think it's a perfect style for this type of, because that's a tile placement game as well. So it really does fit, and I think when I was playing it, I was like, I could have imagined Trevor had made this. It's got that same feel and flavour to it. So I think they've nailed the aesthetic of it. The actual playing of the game, again, it's not a complicated game to play, is it? But they've made it so that you can't go wrong. And the little tile pieces look nicer than obviously the flat real world ones, because they've got the little forests on them, or the water shimmers, or they've got the little buildings on. So I think it is, for me, it's probably the way I would like to play this game rather than the physical one now. I don't know if you guys got that from it, or there's any examples of others where you feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, as you say, it looks good. It looks like a kind of more, I don't want to say simpler, because it is a simple game, isn't it? But it's easy to just go, I'll just play a quick game of that and just crack your laptop out, isn't it? Yeah. And yeah, it did remind me of the port of Knockdown, what's the other one? Carcassonne, which I think I got on Steam after we did the first Bucket List Board Gamers episode on Carcassonne. And yeah, as you say, like, it's good that you don't need to worry about, what do I have to do? Like, what can I do on my turn? 'Cause it's just like, okay, you can put your meeple here, or here. So like, I think this kind of game where you're just choosing from a small number of options kind of lends itself well to that mode.
It's funny that you mentioned Carcassonne, because I was literally going to use that example myself.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm not 100% sure if it's the same game, like, because I've got it on my phone. I'm not sure if it's the same client on Steam or not. But the one that I play is like, when you put the pieces down, it'll like build the town, after you put the tile down.
Okay.
But that like 3D element to the game that I know very well in real life as just being a flat inanimate object, that kind of is what appeals to me in these like ports.
Yeah, that definitely comes across in this one. And I think one of the features that is mentioned but isn't in the demo is that you can customize your kingdom, so you don't have to have the standard turret castle in the middle. You can have like a medieval wooden one. I think one of the examples was, I think you can customize the little houses on the tiles and things like that. And there are other game modes, so there's like a four corners mode where you want to get specific things in the four corners of the map rather than just building up regions. That is another thing I think the digital versions is a great thing for, in that you can put all these different game modes in that perhaps wouldn't work as well on a physical copy. One, because you'd have to keep distributing rules or putting them online or something, but also two, I think some modes like that will just lend themselves to the digital version more, because you can manipulate the assets. They can put new tiles in like that just overnight. Oh, here's a new set of tiles that change the game mode. Whereas with a physical thing, that would be an expansion. It would cost money. You'd have to go and physically buy it, make it, send it out, etc. I think there's a lot of room for digital versions of board games, especially the simple, as Drew said, it sounds like a criticism. It's not. The simpler types of games like Kingdomino, where there's not an awful lot to learn in it, but actually you can get really good at this game if you put some effort in, and I think this is perfect for that.
Yeah, 100%. Well, one thing I am curious about is, obviously, those who aren't familiar with the board game series possibly won't know, but I am wondering if they introduced like Queendomino and Kingdomino Origins as maybe like DLC in the future. Maybe that'd be an interesting way to take it as well, because that would just naturally bring in new tiles and elements to the play as well.
It's definitely got the scope for it, hasn't it? I think it would be a foolish move to release a different game when they could just put it into this, as you say, like whether it's a free or whether it's a couple of quid DLC to use the core mechanics of the game that are built, but just add in some different bits and bobs that change how it plays. I mean, it's not going to be an expensive game. We have been told it's going to be $12.99 when it comes out, which is, in this day and age, it's not a lot, is it? I mean, I think the physical versions around the 20 quid mark, probably, depending on where you're getting it from and which version you're getting. So $12.99 for a digital version where you can play online. I know I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. I don't know if you guys feel the same. If you were to get it for that price, whether you think it would be worth it. I think it definitely is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially for people who haven't played it before as well, so they've got a lot more to get out of the game itself.
Yeah, and like it comes with a built-in solo mode then as well, right? In that
exactly, that's what I was just going to say.
Which you can't do with the physical board game, presumably.
Yeah, so you could almost use it as a training tool, couldn't you? If you wanted to play Kingdomino against other people, but they were very familiar with it and you weren't, you could pick this up, get a few rounds in and get really familiar with how all the tiles interact, and like even the stuff like the reverse drafting of where you pick a tile means that's where you're going to get to pick a tile the next round, I think is something that people that aren't into board gaming as much and maybe more are into video gaming, that concept will be quite new to people, in that, if I pick the top tile, which might not be the best one for my strategy, I'm going to get the first pick of the next four, rather than being last and being left with whatever comes out. It's a great little digital version in the form I've played it in and you guys have seen. And I just think the stuff that's been mentioned, I don't know if there's anything on that roadmap that they've mentioned that you're excited for. I mean, like you mentioned it, Dan, before we started recording, there is a version of it on BGA.
Yes.
I don't know how this compares to that, because I've not played that version. Does this look a little bit more polished, or...?
Oh, it's definitely a lot more polished. In terms of like the structure of how you play it, like for those who aren't familiar, BGA is an online board game playing platform. But once you've taken your turns on BGA and stuff, it'll highlight the areas that you can place your tiles. So it does those things similarly, but the pieces in that game are just the box standard, just iterations of the physical board
flat
game
tiles.
Yeah. So again, there's no like refinement to it. It's just the base game itself, if that kind of makes any sense.
Yeah. There's no bells and whistles and fanciness to what you're looking at.
There's no flourish.
And no solo mode, I assume. I think you'd have to play it against somebody else, would you, on there as well?
I presume so, yes. It's been a while since I've played it, to be fair.
So again, as Drew said, it's got that going for it, that you can have a single player game of it, or you can get on a messenger to your mates and say, come on, we'll have a 4-player on there and see how it goes. But unless you guys have got anything else to mention, I did say it was going to be a very quick one, because we don't have a lot of footage, and B, we've not really experienced that much of it. But what we have experienced, I think, is very promising. I'm really looking forward to the release. I don't know if we've got a release date for it yet. Let me just check. Is it a game you both enjoy anyway, Kingdomino? Is it one that, I know, Dan, you said you picked up a physical copy based on playing it online?
Literally right behind my head, I've literally got Kingdomino, Queendomino, Kingdomino Origins, and Kingdomino Duel. So I would say I'm
quite the fan.
I would say I'm fairly familiar with the series.
And hopefully you're going to add the digital version to that collection then.
Oh yeah, I mean it's already impressed me. So
we do have a release date, 20th of November. So a little while to wait yet, but you can go to Steam now. The link will be in the description of the video. You can go and wishlist it now, so you're reminded when it comes out. I don't know if they potentially might do a launch sale or something like that, but even at $12.99, I don't think it's out of the way, is it really?
No, only around the corner, $12.99. And I imagine on Steam it'll be placed into categories like a puzzle game and stuff like that, so it'll appeal to more people than would usually get their eyes on it as well.
Yeah. And it might even get put into those where they do 2 or 3 games that are very similar for like a bundled price as well. One to definitely look out for. Drew, is there anything else you've spotted in it or you'd like to add before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, I mean, not about this specifically, I suppose, but as I say, like I've played a few digital ports of board games and they are generally pretty good. And like I think it's an interesting and good trend that a lot of popular games seem to be getting this treatment now, because as you say, like it has a lot of upsides, being able to like play with friends remotely or solo or whatever. So yeah, I think it's good to see a game that a lot of people clearly like getting that done for it as well.
It's still quite a new thing, isn't it? The crossover to video games still. I know there's been like Monopoly video games for years, but other than that, the more sort of hobbyist ones, it's nice, like you say, to see them getting representation and to see them not just go, here it is, dump it into a virtual version of it and just play it. They're actually putting in different modes. They're putting in customization options. They're like, to go back to Sagrada again, you get challenges to like use X amount of one coloured dice in a game and stuff like that. So they're not just resting on the laurels and going, here's the board game, but on a screen. They're actually trying to make it worth the money to buy it again if you've already got the board game version. And I think that's the impressive thing about this. Looking at what's to come, there's lots of stuff in it that you can't do with the physical version. Yeah, I would say definitely one to watch out for. I'm sure if we get the full copy of it, I will invite you two guys back and we will potentially play it online together, maybe record that, or we will chat about it again at a later date.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm going to have to loop the footage now, my one good game.
8 minutes.
We've deliberately gone over, so you have to show your B-roll footage.
Oh, I think I've deleted it, unfortunately, which is a shame, isn't it? So I think that's gone. So you'll probably be seeing me just doing really well on loop, which is what you want to see, really. But yeah, until the next one, thank you, Dan and Drew, for joining me.
Anytime.
If you are a board game fan, be sure to go and check out bucketlistboardgamers.com or find us on Instagram. We talk a lot about board games, not just Kingdomino. We've talked about all sorts of stuff. As Drew's mentioned, Carcassonne was the first, but certainly hasn't been the last. We've covered loads and loads of stuff. We're always putting stuff on over there, so if board games and video games are your thing, go over and check our sister podcast out as well. And we'll try and do a few more crossovers, I think, because it's, as we've said, it's getting more prevalent. Dan, I know you're a video gamer as well. Drew, I think you're a bit of a fan of video games, so
I dabble, yeah.
We could always do a few more crossover episodes. And yeah, until next time, that's goodbye from me, and that's goodbye from Dan, Drew.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.